everybody. I'm Jeff.
Hey, I'm Kendall. Welcome to the first episode of Meet the Morrises. We're so excited and happy that you're here and you're watching. And again, as we said in our intro video, this channel is going to be all about, topics surrounding millennial dating and marriage, and with a little bit of our flavor and us talking about our experiences. So this first episode, we're just going to be, kind of introducing ourselves and, talking a little bit about our love story and how we got to where we are today. So, how did we get here?
How did we get here? Well, I met you in high school.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
you don't remember the first time.
According to him, we met in the 9th grade, and I don't remember that. But
of course not.
I
was a nerd in high school, and she was the. I'm not good on words. The uppity.
Oh no.
Pretty, very attractive, intelligent woman, or not woman, girl in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She was actually dating a friend of mine, and he introduced me to her, and I was like, Jeff, I want you to meet my girlfriend, Kendall. And I saw her, and I was like, wow, she is really pretty. But she didn't even say hi back. And apparently she don't even remember that moment, so
sure don't.
That's fine. But
I promise I'm nicer now. I was feeling myself at age 15. Who wasn't? But
yeah. And then what happened after that? Next time I saw you was in 10th grade. That was freshman year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And in 10th grade, we actually had classes together. Now she was not dating my friend at this point in time.
And I think we had like almost all of our classes together basically, except like one. So
really?
we saw each other all day. The only class we didn't take the same foreign language.
That's
and
true.
I think we had like a different elective, but other than that, like, we had all our classes together. So
I don't really remember how we got close.
I do. We were in government class, and we didn't do any work. It was mostly, remember that? We didn't do any work in that class. We were in government together.
Yeah,
and we just like, we just sat.
Econ.
No, not econ, government.
Well, no, I know, but they switched up.
So government was when we didn't do any work, and we just kind of sat there every class, and then we started sitting next to each other every day, and that's when we started talking. Like the whole class period became like good friends from that. And then I think it was one day you weren't feeling well because you were having a pain crisis, and you told me you had sickle cell. I'm like, what's that? And I walked. And that was all she wrote. So and then I walked you down.
No, that was far from all she wrote.
And I walked you down to the office. Remember, you said you need to call your mom?
Yeah, I looked at you.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of sparked my interest. I looked at her, and she could just kind of tell that I was like something was off with me. I didn't like.
Without you having to say it.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. I just kind of looked, and then she was like, I remember you kind of looked like something's not right. And the next thing you know, I looked back and you were not in that position. The next thing you know, you were like right on the side of me. And yeah, you helped me walk down to the office. Was that during my birthday or was that a different time? That might have been a different time.
I don't remember. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was that instance. And then we were, eventually you told me, I think either later that year, that you had liked me, and I didn't believe you.
No. Mm-hmm.
Like if y'all saw the way, like I think I kind of grew up. Or is that the word? Is that what the kids are using?
The glow up.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I whatever. Yeah. I look a little better
You had
now.
a glow up. Yeah.
But high school, it just wasn't it. Like looking at some of my old pictures, I was like, oh, that's. Yeah, so I didn't believe that she actually had liked me. I believed that she liked me in high school. So it took me a little minute to like believe her. And then also one of my previous best friends also was very attracted to her. And so that situation was a little weird. We're not gonna really get into that, but eventually it worked itself out,
High
and then
school.
I ended up dating her, quote unquote, because it wasn't
Right,
supposed
because
to
he
be.
wasn't supposed to be dating.
I wasn't supposed to be dating, but
Yeah.
yeah. So that was high school.
Mm-hmm.
We had some breakups during high school, and then got back together. You know, the little high school flings that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went to college together. We both got accepted to University of Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
which was cool. And I think that, well, Kendall was already saying that she was gonna marry me when she was in high school. I I was just happy to have a girlfriend, so I just let her, like, you know, say that. But sorry.
Yeah, that was a little much.
But I think
Yeah.
freshman year was probably the hardest. Freshman year of college, it's probably the hardest point in my life, in my family's life, and Kendall was like right there. So like she said, I have sickle cell. So basically, for those of you that don't know, sickle cell is a blood disorder, primarily in like African Americans, or only in African Americans, I think. And basically, my red blood cells are like shaped like a crescent moon. So most people, their red blood cells are, you know, shaped normally. They're a circle. So what that does for me is sometimes like causes a lot of pain. And another symptom is that like we usually end up having like very large spleens because our red blood cells get like stuck in our spleen, and they don't produce better ones. So mine during freshman year, well, over the course of my life, mine had gotten super big, but during freshman year, I started having complications with that, and I basically had to have like 3 major surgeries. That with some other things that weren't necessarily like related to sickle cell, but because I had sickle cell, it just kind of made things worse. And I basically had to drop out my freshman year of college because I was very ill. And besides my family, guess who was right there throughout all the surgeries, the hospital visits, and all of that? That was Kendall. I remember, you know, the times, I remember vaguely some points because most of the times I was on medicine to kind of block out the pain, but like I remember she was helping out my sister with work.
With her homework.
Yeah, we're homework.
Because your parents was like, no.
Yeah, my
mom. We can't do this.
At least you try to ask my mom a question like
Yeah.
about math or something, and she couldn't. Like I knew my mom couldn't really focus, so Kendall was just helping out. I don't even think normally that my mom would have probably let somebody be there, but because everything was just happening so fast and it was like, you know, a really tough situation, like I know that she really appreciated you being there. That was tough. But after that, I think that's one, you wanted in with my parents, cause she was like, cause they were like, you know, you shouldn't let somebody go that's that can withstand that very hard time with you. And then two, what was I gonna say? Two, that really touched me because I mean, one of the things I was looking for, you know, when I was in the dating scene was somebody that could understand what it means to have sickle cell, or for what it means for me, and how that could potentially impact their life. And you didn't treat me any different after that, so, or at least treat me any different in a bad way. And while I was in school, helping me get through that, so I appreciated that, and still appreciate that. But yeah, so we started dating in high school, in college. Yes. I don't know if
Fast forward to the end of college.
I don't know if we want to.
No, it's, you know, we can do the nice version. So after college, so I finished undergrad a year before him. Then I stayed at U of M to start my master's in social work, and I was in a 16-month program. We were dating in the beginning of my program, like my first semester. Then after that, we broke up.
Wait, we were dating the first semester of what?
Of my master's program.
Your master's program? Yes.
And then after that, we broke up and we took some time apart.
Wait, we were dating the first year of your master's program?
The first semester.
The first semester. Okay. Well, we technically had broken up senior year of college.
Whatever, it's all a blur. We were still talking.
We had some issues.
We just had some. And then after my first semester, my master's program was over. I know we stopped speaking.
You started dating other people. I went my way, she went her way.
Mm-hmm.
I had moved to a whole nother state, Boston.
Yep.
No, that's not a state. Massachusetts.
Right. Whoops.
City of Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Was trying to work on a startup with some friends. And the way we were broken up was so bad, we didn't like talk to each other. She had blocked me on like every forms of social media.
Sure did.
And I was like, dang. But like we had moved on, we were fine. And my best friend CJ, or one of my best friends CJ, decided that he should let me know that Kendall was moving to Boston.
Yeah, because at that point I had to choose. I applied to PhD programs and I got accepted to 3. 2 of them were in Michigan and 1 was in Boston. And then it was like my top 2 choices was either are you going to stay in Michigan or do you want to explore another city? And I was like, fine. And at the time, the reason why I agreed that I said it was okay for me to move here to Boston was because Jeff wasn't supposed to be in Boston permanently. His company was supposed to move to California. So I was like, oh, that'd be fine. Because he's not going to be here. He's moving.
Yeah, she knew before we broke up, she knew that I moved to Boston and knew like what the potential plans were for the company I was working with. But yeah, so CJ decided that I should know. I guess he was trying to warn me. He was just like, hey, bro, like, Kendall's moving there. Like, I mean, I know city of Boston is small, but like, it's not like I'm gonna just randomly run into her. So.
And then I got that DM on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I felt bad. So after he said something, so technically I guess we should be giving CJ a shout out because he's the one that kind of like kicked this back in gear. So thanks,
shout out
bro,
to CJ.
I guess. So after he called me, I had thought about it. I was like, I don't really in my head I'm thinking like, I didn't really like the way that we had broken up, and you had been there for me a lot, so. With you being new to Boston, I just wanted to see if we can reconcile, like, just as friends. Wasn't trying to do anything more or anything like that. And so I knew that she blocked me on everything, so I figured I'd do a Hail Mary and message you on LinkedIn. I didn't think that was gonna actually work, but I just felt, like if the Lord was gonna allow it to happen, then it was gonna happen, and it turns out it did. So I took her. So she messaged me back. I basically was just like, hey, just trying to, I know we haven't talked in a while. Just want to see, how's it going? I hear you doing your PhD program here. So congrats on that. And, if you want to link up, I'll show you around and stuff like that. We could do that. Let's get dinner or something. And eventually she agreed. So I took her to a decent restaurant. Florentine Cafe, which if you do ever come to Boston, you should go to. It's pretty nice, good Italian food in the North End. Kind of a romantic spot, but it wasn't like it was.
Right.
I mean, like anything in the North End is has that like romantic vibe to it, but that's not what I was going for. It was just like I really like their lobster ravioli, so. I wanted some lobster ravioli, and I figured that she would like Italian food, so I was like, hey, let's go here. So we went, and when I saw her, it had been a while since I had seen her. I think a year and a half since I had seen her. So when I saw her, she had, actually, I don't remember what you had on.
I had, that particular day.
No, she was...
I was dressed up, but that's because I was taking an ID photo for school, and I knew that I'm gonna have to keep the same photo.
I think she dressed up specifically for me.
No, that's false. I had to take an ID photo, and you have to keep the same photo for 5 years.
You did have on jeans. You had on these
right,
like blue
but I
jeans.
I had makeup on because I was like, how that goes. You gotta keep the ID for forever. No, I wanted to look right.
She was dressing up.
Anywho,
but
after that. we still didn't get together for a while.
Huh?
We still didn't get together for a while after that.
Yeah, no,
So-
we didn't. There was some chemistry. I would say that. And then I think I messaged you and you was like, yeah, we can go out more. So we started going out on a date. I took you some other places around. And then even after that though, I still wasn't for sure if we should try this again because of the way that we had like broke it up and stuff like that. And I don't think she was really for sure either. So we stopped talking for maybe a couple months. And like she was still dating other people and I was dating other people or another person.
Clarify.
Yeah. I haven't dated as many people as she has.
Well, that was okay.
I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying she's very
Alright.
attractive,
Sounds
men
good.
always try to hit on her. That's it, Yeah, so then after that, what happened to cause you? Oh, I got sick again.
Sure did.
I think this is why the
And
Lord put sickle cell on me because he knew that this is
he
the only way I
got
was
sick
gonna
again,
be.
and I was so mad because he called me.
Yeah, because
nobody else.
nobody.
He got these people here in Boston. Nobody else was available, so he called me, and I'm.
I
a
knew Kendall would
sucker.
pick up.
Yes, so I picked
I
up.
really
and
need
was
some help.
in-
I was.
And you
doing
were in
bad
the
again.
hospital for a while.
Yep.
And I was helping.
And I didn't want my parents to be worried.
Yeah.
So who do you call? Kendall. So
Yeah.
I called Kendall. And then after that, I was like, you know what, we're gonna let's try to date again.
Yes, I came back from a conference. First of all, during the
Yeah.
whole time I was at this conference in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota, he keeps telling me I gotta talk to you about something when I get back. I'm like, well, what is he talking about? I'm thinking it's something bad. I'm like, you gonna tell me what it is? And then
before that, I also gotta give a shout out to my parents because my parents, I would try to tell them about other people I was dating, and she knew that or my mom, for instance, knew that Kendall had came back, and we were hanging out and stuff. And when I would tell them about my other another person I was dating, their first response would be like, "What? What about Kendall?" And I'm what?
Oh,
Me and Kendall are
no
cool.
shame.
I'm dating this other person. Don't you want to hear about her? They eventually did, but I could tell that they were still, at least in my eyes, it seemed like they still wanted me to, try to patch things up with Kendall and get that working. So there you go, Mom. Now and Dad. Now we're getting married.
Yes, but I was at a conference, and then I got stranded there an extra day because it was a huge snowstorm and I couldn't get back. So then it got delayed even more. But when I finally came back, that's when he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I told him yes, but that I'm dating. You asked me to be your girlfriend. I said yes,
okay.
but I was like, I'm dating to marry, so if we don't know if we gonna get married within a year, then I'm bouncing.
I do not remember that.
That's what I said. I know what I said.
Oh, okay. I don't remember. I do not remember you saying that.
You
But
agree?
I said, yes, I believe that,
He did.
at that point in time, we should have been dating and married.
Mhm.
So that's what I was looking for. But I hadn't told anybody, besides my parents, I hadn't told anybody because in the event that it hadn't worked out, I didn't want to get people's hopes up and then they'd be like, oh, y'all broke up again.
Yeah, but this time around, it was much better. We both grown a lot, and that's why we are where we are.
And last year, was it last year? Yeah, last year I
One
decided.
of my nails broke because we in
Or actually,
quarantine.
2 years a year and a couple months. That's when I told Michael was there, my other best friend, and my parents. We were all in Great Lakes, and I don't think my parents believed me at first, the first time, because I just kind of threw this out there. But I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna propose to Kendall, and they're like, oh, okay. And then later, I think I called my dad, asking about rings and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, you serious?" Yeah, I'm gonna propose. And then I told my other friend CJ, and he was like, "It's about time." So on her birthday, well, actually, so this is the messed up part because I didn't know how to get her a ring, so I took her to a ring shop in January, around like my birthday. So my birthday is January 15th. It was just like, hey, let's just look at potential rings. And I was just hoping to like, I don't know. I guess I was just hoping that as long as I didn't tell you the exact date, that you wouldn't have been thinking that I was gonna propose soon. So after I showed her the rings, while she was like looking at the rings, I was on the phone. I strategically was on the phone to act like I didn't really care about like what she picked, so that way it would make it seem like, I'm really just like, we just out here shopping, like window shopping type thing. I think that made her even more mad, but like that was my strategy.
Like,
not saying you should take it, but yeah, that's what I was doing. And then after that, she kept thinking about it, so I kept having to downplay that. Like she would be like, Jeff, I found the ring. Like you should go get it. Valentine's Day coming up. You don't want people to like go get the ring before.
Y'all, I'm very hyper.
I was like, okay,
controlling.
like it's fine. The ring will be there when it's there. Mind you, I bought the ring. So after she had picked it out, I told the guy, or the place that we got it was right next to my job. So literally, like that week when I got paid, I went and bought the ring. But she never knew that because I just like kind of hid it in my backpack the entire time until it was time to propose. So after that, I was acting like I hadn't bought the ring. I forgot what the ring looked like. Yeah, it was just bad. I knew that probably put a little strain on our relationship because she was always mad. She always had this like frown on her face. And then her birthday, Valentine's Day passed. I think she expected me to propose. I did not propose.
No,
then.
actually, I didn't. I knew he wasn't gonna propose that soon, and
Yeah,
he even told. He
mad.
told me like, "Don't expect me to propose." I'm like, I don't.
I did tell you. I did tell you that. And then her birthday came, and so actually, there was 3 different ways I was trying to figure out how to do it. I had finally gotten her sister's number and her mom's number. Actually, everybody's number. So I asked her mom and dad for their blessings. During work, I called them. I wanted to do it in person, but we live in 2 separate states. So I called them, got their blessing. That conversation went a lot smoother than I thought it was going to go. It was like, yeah, like, we like that you love her, and that's it. I was like, oh, cool. And then I messaged all of them, her parents and her sisters, kind of asking for like advice on how I should propose to her, because my original idea was like, I'm gonna take you up to this fancy restaurant. It's this restaurant called Top of the Hub, which if you're there before 8, oh no, we're in quarantine, so you ain't going nowhere. All right, don't worry about don't worry about that restaurant because it's closing down pretty soon, and we're all in quarantine, or at least should be. So stay safe. I decided that I wanted to, take it to this restaurant. It's very nice. It's like one of the largest, in one of the largest towers in Boston. And what I wanted to do, and then at the bottom there's like an observatory walk where you can walk around and look outside the city of Boston, basically see the skyline and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And there are buildings across, and they have these like binoculars. So I wanted to have like a flyer or something, or like a poster or a billboard or something on right across from the building that we ate at, and she would look through and it would see that like it said, will you marry me? So I told her parents that and her sisters, and they thought that was a good idea, and they were like, and her mom called her, and I guess they had a conversation, and basically she reported back to me and was like, yeah, so Kendall doesn't want a public proposal. I was like, wait, what? Like, what you mean you don't want a public proposal? Like, because Kendall is very outgoing. She does pageants, she got all this like social media stuff going on for herself. She did modeling, so I'm thinking that she would want, and I was gonna try to get her family to come out too. So I was thinking that she would have wanted something more public, but turns out that was not it. So
I think I just wanted, it was like this is a big deal, and I wanted to be more sacred, and I didn't want a lot of people to be around.
Yeah. So that threw a monkey wrench in all of my plans. So I had to refigure it out. So basically, what it boiled down to was I waited till her birthday, which is May 25th, and tried to kind of take her down memory lane of like, at least for the last year that we had been dating. So I took her back to the first restaurant that we went to when she moved here, Florentine Cafe, and then took her to Boston Commons because we had like walked there afterwards, and then I can't remember what else. Oh, she loves Mexican food, so I took her to a Mexican restaurant. Oh no, before that I went to go get a massage. She had never had a professional massage before, and I love professional massages. That didn't work out as well as I would have liked, but we did that, and then after that took her to go get Mexican food, and after that I acted like the day was pretty much over. What she didn't know was I had said that my stomach was hurting, which it was because I was nervous. I was trying to call her family because I was like, okay, we're about to be proposing soon. Call my family, calling her family, so we can do a video chat. So I took her to the docks, the seaport here in Boston, which is a beautiful place.
Wait, but you said when you called my sisters, they was in the drive-thru.
Yeah, I didn't want to throw your sisters up under the bus like that because I'm still trying I'm still trying to get in the family.
Anyway, that was funny.
But yeah, so I had to stall for more time, and that just messed up my stomach even more. So I was like, I'm not like my stomach. I'm just not really eating. I hadn't really touched my plate at all. So after that, when they finally texted me, it was like, okay, we're ready. I was like, all right, give me like 5 minutes. We walked outside. The restaurant is right next to the seaport dock. So I was like, I got one more gift for you. And I pulled out my phone. I told her to pull out her phone. And that's when her parents had called her and her sisters, and my parents and my sister called me on like Google Hangouts and FaceTime. And they basically just said happy birthday. And I paused for a minute to let her think that was it. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I was like, well, okay, so actually I didn't tell the truth all the way. I have one more gift for you even after this. And the reason why I'm having them on the call is so I could propose. And that's when I proposed to her.
Yep, so now, Lord willing, because we didn't know it was going to be a pandemic, we'll be getting married October 3rd of this year.
No, we're getting married October 3rd.
We're getting married October 3rd, just how many people going to be there and where and how.
Yeah, and where. It might be here. You're all going to be in hazmat suits or something.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we're getting married October 3rd in our hometown, and we're super, super excited.
Yes.
And again, also our hearts go out to everybody that's suffering, going through stuff right now with the coronavirus. And this is a crazy time, but we gotta just
please everybody stay safe, stay in your homes,
stay safe, stay in your homes,
and for social distancing and all of that.
Yeah, so that's our love story. That's how we got to where we are today, and we'll be talking about so much more interesting, fun stuff in further episodes. And so if you like what you saw, make sure you click and subscribe and follow us so you can see all of our episodes.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.